Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. Let's set an intention that today will be a beautiful day, a wonderful day, a day of opportunities, and knowing that we are always in the right place for the right reason, right time, right place, and noticing that we have advantages, opportunities, and making the most of every moment. Bob Proctor wrote a book called The ABCs of Success. And he starts out talking about achievement. And he said in school, straight A's were always indicative of a great year. In business, the same rule applies. But he's talking about straight A's that will give you what you want every time are awareness, acceptance, alteration, and with awareness, acceptance, and alteration comes achievement. He says, first, you must become aware of the primary cause of the results that you're getting. The truth is not always in the appearance of things. Your results are never caused by something outside of yourself. Results are always an inside job. Your results are a physical or outward expression of the inner conditioning in your subconscious mind. Your behavior is causing your results, and your conditioning is causing your behavior. What does he mean by that? We've been conditioned ever since we were little children to think certain things, to have certain beliefs. We've developed beliefs because we were told certain things, and those certain things we've talked about over and over and over until they become our reality, until we just practice the same things over and over and over. So the first is being aware that the primary cause of the results you are getting are never caused by something outside of yourself. Results are always an inside job. Your results are a physical or outward expression of the inner conditioning in your subconscious mind. Your behavior is causing your results, and that conditioning is causing your behavior. And the second A is acceptance. You must accept responsibility for your results. When you accept full responsibility for the results that you're getting in your life, then you can make the necessary decisions to alter your results. Acceptance of this truth is always the preamble to a magnificent future. When you accept your subconscious conditioning as the cause of your results, then you'll be ready for the third A, alteration. You will decide to alter the conditioning in your subconscious mind, conditioning that is both genetic and environmental. You and your results are actually the product of someone else's habitual way of thinking. Think about that. The way you do certain things usually follows a pattern of what you experienced, what you saw your parents doing, what you were told was the right way or the only way or the proper way to do something. And if you were raised in poverty, you learned that that was what was the only thing that was available to you, and you have to scrounge and scrimp If you were raised in prosperity, you understood that money flows easily, effortlessly. There's opportunities all around. And as you become aware of the opportunities, as you accept that you're worthy, as you alter some results and behaviors, you can achieve whatever it is that you truly desire. I'm going to read this line again. You and your results are actually the product of someone else's habitual way of thinking. To make the necessary alterations in this area not only takes time, it takes a respectable amount of study and discipline, but it's worth it. It's worth every penny and every speck of energy you invest in learning how to alter your old conditioning. This simple process will permit you to achieve whatever goal you set. Bob Proctor says, become aware of the cause of your results, accept responsibility for your results, alter your conditioned subconscious mind, and achieve any goal you set. Straight A's. Just like in school, you can aim for straight A's in your life. Nothing stops the person who desires to achieve. Every obstacle is simply a course to develop his achievement muscle. It's strengthening his powers. It's a strengthening of his powers of accomplishment. He says, I'll attempt an arduous task, that there is no worth in that which is not a difficult achievement. Isn't that true? The things that you work the hardest for are the ones that you value the most. The biggest challenges in your life that you've overcome, that you've stood victorious against, those are the things you're most proud of. So what is it that you truly desire? If you become aware that you are God's highest form of creation, you are a spiritual being, you've been gifted with all kinds of gifts. You have an intellect, you can think, you can reason, you have a memory, you have an imagination, you can dream and hope and build a fantasy and pretend. You can think about, what would it be like if I was so wealthy that I never had to worry about debt? I could help my family get out of debt. I could help people who have lived in poverty for generations become aware that they have talent, skills, and abilities. They can find purposeful work because I love what I do. I have a purpose in my life. I love serving others. And the more I serve from the heart, the more lives I impact. The more lives I impact, the more the world changes. You have a beautiful intuition. Pay attention to it. Test it out. Believe that gut feeling, your intuition, that inside knowing will put you on the right path, will help you overcome whatever barriers there will be to strengthen you to attain that big, beautiful goal that you dream of. But you have to decide, using your imagination, what do you really want? Not what your parents said is the maximum available limit for you. Not what society says you should want. think everybody wants to be happy, healthy, feeling well-being. That takes studying and understanding and having faith, and then expressing your well-being as you express the feelings of health and happiness, prosperity, love, respect, whatever it is that you really want. You emanate that into the universe, and the universe reflects it back to you. Become aware that you are the cause of the results in your life. You can perceive things as impossible. You have a mental faculty of perception. Two people can be in the same place at the same time and have a totally different experience. Practice thinking about, what do you really want? You have tremendous creative potential. Realize that everything you see around you was once an idea that was conceived in someone's imagination. All images that originate in the imagination are referred to as fantasies. Starting your own business was once a fantasy. Maybe completing school, getting a degree, earning a certain amount of money, building a house, your cell phone, flying, the internet. Everything was once a fantasy. When you begin to play with your fantasy, and instead of immediately talking yourself out of it and what you can't do and why it's going to take so hard and all kinds of reasons and excuses why it can't happen, get rid of those and just mentally begin to play with the fantasy until you start to take it seriously. And then you flip from using your imagination to using your reasoning factor. And you start to build the image more clearly. You start with an idea, a fantasy, a goal in your conscious mind. You're consciously aware, this is what I want. And then through consistent rehearsing, practicing, studying, having faith and taking action, it starts to turn into a fact, into physical reality. Light bulbs just didn't magically appear one day. It's said that it took Thomas Edison 10,000 tries before he invented an incandescent light bulb that would light up the world. How many times have you tried something and decided, it's too hard, it'll take too long, I can't do it? Or based on your past experience, that looks like I can't do it. I'm not even going to try. That's your subconscious conditioning, giving you false beliefs, allowing you to worry and doubt and fear and give up before you even start. If there's something that you really, really want, something that you desire so strongly, have you ever had something in your mind that you really wanted that you would do anything to get it? Well, it does take persistence. You can imagine a most beautiful dream, fantasy, vision, goal for your life and instantly talk yourself out of it and think, oh, I could probably do this. If I did this and all these other things fell into place, then I might be able to do this. Bob Proctor talks about A, B, and C goals. An A goal is something you already know how to do. A B goal is something that you could probably do if everything happened the way you think it needs to happen. The C goal is a dream goal, something that you truly desire. Every day, waking up with passion. This I will do. This is what I'm working towards. This is what I'm going after. Successful living consists of knowing what you want and going after it, being the person who has the goal. And when knowing and being are separated, there's nothing but frustration and failure. Most self-help books deal with positive thinking without much concern for translating it into consciously experiencing it. Most self-help books give us, Bob Proctor would say, a map to nirvana, but they don't locate the vehicle to get us there. If positive thinking alone resulted in successful living, 95% of our population would be living on Easy Street. All of the preachers and teachers would be physical examples of health, wealth, and well-being. Unfortunately, many are physical contradictions to what they tell us. Positive thinking as a medium to the good life is a half-truth. Positive thinking alone does not deliver. It does not fulfill. Oftentimes it frustrates us because it's not in harmony with what we do. Thinking positively about music will not make you a musician. Only singing and playing a musical instrument will bring you that fulfillment. The power of a positive thought lies in its being expressed in a positive act. The thought of love finds its fulfillment in loving. Thoughts of joy find their power in laughter. Faith without action is dead. Nothing can result so negatively as thinking positively without the action that fulfills that thinking. Bob Proctor would say schools should award diplomas for what we do rather than for what we know. Nothing is more powerful than a positive thought joined with positive action. The ancestor of every thought, every action is a thought. So first you get a thought, and then you visualize, you spend time thinking and feeling as if, what would it be like to be in a state of well-being, to be happy, to be healthy, to be loved, to be respected, to have sufficient funds to go on that dream vacation, to be living in your dream home, wherever it is. I have a friend who lives in a penthouse in New York City, and other friends who are thrilled with living in a cottage by their favorite lake. What do you dream of? Fear and faith both demand that you believe in something that you cannot see, and your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So if we set aside, if we just first of all decide with our conscious mind, what would I really love? What would I desire to be or do or have? And get into a relaxed state of being. Take a deep breath in and let that go. Take another deep breath in, a cleansing breath. Breathe in happiness and breathe out any sense of trouble. Breathe in creative power and let go of any limitations. Right now, we're just pretending, visualizing, getting a picture in mind of what it is that you really want, not what someone else has. You don't want to feel any jealousy or resentment. You don't want to feel any lack or limitation or scarcity, but just let your imagination run wild. Just like when you were a little child and you dreamed of being a singer on stage, a dancer, an astronaut, a firefighter, a teacher, a princess, a cowboy, whatever you wanted as a little child. After a while, that was conditioned out of you by memorizing things in school. That's not learning. When you focus on something to the exclusion of everything else, you're using your will to hold an image on the screen of your mind. That's how every great invention ever came to be. That's how every work of art came to be. By getting an image and then deciding to go after it, make it happen, bring it into physical reality. As a spiritual being with an intellect, you're living in a physical body. When your conscious mind kicks in and says, am I able to do this? And you take into consideration that the only two sources of reference we have to go to, science and theology, with respect to human potential, they both clearly indicate that your potential is infinite. So you first must decide what you want to do, where you want to go, and then become that person. Are you willing to cause the image in your mind to manifest into physical form in your life? If you have a vision that you are in love with, then your answer to that question must be, yes, I am willing, I am able. And you turn your goal over to the universal subconscious mind. You let the laws of the universe kick in, and the first law, perpetual transmutation of energy, takes over, and your goal begins to move into physical form with and through you. With your human hands, you start to take action. Your behavior starts to change. And at the same time, the resources, the people, the money, whatever situations and circumstances are required are attracted to you for the manifestation of the images in your mind. Before long, your theory becomes fact. First, you decide on a goal that is so big you're in love with it. It starts out as a fantasy. You turn it into a theory, a goal. And then you take action, and the universe reacts differently. you start to move towards your goal and your goal starts to move toward you. Get emotionally involved with your goal, and that will override the old conditioning. A very important thing to do is to keep it on the screen of your mind by visualizing it and then taking some time to write it down. Write down as if you already have it. I am so happy and grateful now that, and fill in the blank with whatever you truly desire. Is there some physical items that you would love to own? A new home and a particular vehicle? Go after something that is so big, so bold, so exciting. You'd love to do that, but you're scared. Your conditioning wants to keep you safe. It wants to hold you in a pattern. Override that old conditioning through study, through faith, through well-being, through expressing that infinite part of you. Follow effective action with quiet reflection. When you have quiet reflection, when you're visualizing your goal, when you're writing it out in the present tense, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am a singer on the world stage. I am living the life I believe I am worthy of. From the quiet reflection will come ideas on how to do things more effectively. Action is the real measure of intelligence. Think from the end goal. Feel as if it's already been accomplished. How proud, how happy, how at ease, how well you feel now that you are happy and healthy and prosperous. Get into the feeling of what that would be like. Hold on to that state of being, and as ideas come to you from God, from the universe, from the higher version of yourself, from infinite intelligence, write those ideas down. Capture them with pen and paper and start to take action. You want to know who you are? Don't ask, act. Create a wonderful day. Enjoy your day. Take some purposeful action today that will lead you to the next step of your goal. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7. Thank you.